Hello, it's Rosemary here. How can you get people to take a look at your offers and join your mailing list? Now, the mailing list is the main asset of every business, whether online or offline. You must absolutely figure out a way to get people onto the list, and you must do it in a way that suits you, okay? And I'm going to share with you 5 different ways that I use to get people onto my mailing list. Number one is social media. This is one of my very preferred options as lots of people are on the various platforms. I mean, there's 1.4 billion people on Facebook alone. So I spend a lot of time communicating with people on Facebook, whether in groups or on my profile or on my business page. I just making connections. And I also use the paid for versions as well of getting people onto my list. Of course, if you would like to find out more about the whole Facebook stuff, then pop over to rosemarynonny.com/DM Facebook. But then some of the other social media places that I currently use and I put my content on regularly are Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr. I also put some videos on YouTube. You're possibly watching this here, or you're going to be listening to it on SoundCloud as well. And so really, what takes your fancy in terms of social media? And build a presence there, wherever it is, and start today, even if you're not really sure. You need to be building that audience, okay? Whenever you're planning to start out in business, you need to be building that audience, okay? So next thing that I do, number two, is blog posts. Again, it's another preferred way for me to get people to look at my free giveaway so that they join my list. And the thing I like most about blog posts is that, and also social media, is that I can prime people in that they either like me or they hate me. So I polarize people more to the point. Okay, I polarize people with my content. So either they like what I have to say or they don't. So they read through my content, they like it, they stick around. If they don't like it, they go away. That's absolutely fine. So I try very hard not to be generic in my writing because I really want my uniqueness to come through and only call out to the people I want in my community. I only want to impact people who I'm called to serve in my business. Okay, so at the end of each blog post, I would then have a call to action, inviting people to come join my community. Article writing is another thing that I do. So it's almost the same as blog posting, really, except I do it on somebody else's site or in somebody else's magazine or trade publications or something like that. I would write for a different audience because this other person has spent time building up their audience. And then I ask if I can put some content that will help their audience on their site or in their magazine or whatever. And they say yes or no, whatever. And then that's how I spread the message, if that makes any sense. That's how I spread the news of my product, my service, my whatever. Okay, so article writing is something that I particularly try to do. I never used to like doing it because I wanted to keep all my content to myself. But then there's some sites that allow you to use your content on your site as well as on theirs. Some want you to come up with something unique for them. That's absolutely fine because ultimately it still bears my name. It doesn't matter where it is really, and that could be working for me to get people into my community for a very long time to come. So it's definitely worth my while to do, especially now that I realize it is worth my while to do. So I do it over and over and over again. Okay, and let's keep switching off. Okay, the next thing I do, number 4, is webinars, teleseminars, or meetups, ultimately events. This is another way I use to build my audience. I try to do a weekly call, some free, some paid for, and this again helps my people to see what I'm about and to choose to work with me further in some way. So yeah, you get in the habit of offering a call for free to build your community. And if you did that for over the next 30 to 90 days, you literally did one call every single week or one event of some sort every week, even if it's just an hour long, and you kept inviting people into your world, or you might even make sales right off the back of that call. So it's definitely worth your while to do. So just make a list of about 20 topics that you feel your audience may be interested in and start doing these events, okay? And start attracting people to the events rather than your community or anything like that up front. Attract them by the content that you're about to give them, okay? And it does work, whatever industry you're in. Some people will say, oh, but that's not what people do in my industry. Yeah, that's why you want to do it, okay? That's why you want to do it. So use things like Meeting Burner or Webinar Jam or GoToWebinar or Periscope is a great ways to do your live calls, or even Blab is another upcoming one to do your posts on. Okay, and number 5 is paid advertising. And I specifically leave this to last because people try and chuck as much money as possible at pay-per-click advertising, thinking that it's some kind of magic solution. But the truth is, if you haven't done the 4 that I've mentioned and you're not doing that consistently, there's no foundation for people to stick around with. So they might come into your world and they're just thinking, I don't know you, I don't know why I'm here, and now you're trying to sell me stuff. Goodbye, basically. So don't go straight to paid advertising, or even if you do it alongside creating content in some way. Okay, now platforms that I use for paid advertising would be Facebook Advert Manager, Google AdWords, and Bing Advertising, and I've got customers from all of those places, so they are definitely places that work. But remember, combine it with the content, okay? So if you do want a blueprint on making that first $1,000 online, then pop on over to rosemarynonnynight.com/1K blueprint to grab your free copy of the blueprint. It is time to fight to create the life, the business that you want. I look forward to seeing you in my world. Bye.